Today, I'm creating the strongest duo in Blue Lock's universe. If you think Sai and Izagi will be the best duo in the world, wait until you see this one. This duo will not only be stronger than any duo in Blue Lock, but they will individually be better than any player in the entire verse. Now, before we begin, we gotta choose the position for each player as well as their own traits on the field. Well, since the main goal is to actually score a goal, we gain nothing with positions like goalkeeper or defender. For that reason, our positions will be midfielder and striker. Next up, we got our traits. Even though their goal is the same, they still play differently on the field. Therefore, they need their own specific traits. For the midfielder, we got passing, dribbling, speed, stamina, strength, ball control, flow state, and lastly, IQ. As for the striker, well, replacing the passing with shooting would make the most sense, while keeping the other traits since they're equally as important for both positions. Okay, now that we have that figured out, let's add some rules, shall we? Number 1, we can only use a trait from a character just once the entire video. For example, if we choose to go for Izagi's IQ, we cannot choose Izagi again for another trait, even if it's for the other player position. Meaning, if I choose an Izagi trait for the midfielder, then we will not be able to select any of Izagi's traits for the striker. And number 2, we cannot select traits from any experienced pro player such as Noel Noah and even Loki, with the exceptions being Sai and Kaiser of course, since they are not on the same level as the best in the world yet. Okay, so let's start with the most important trait for each position, and that is passing and shooting. As for our midfielder passing trait, we have 3 characters to consider. First up is the prodigy Itoshi Sai. With his passing accuracy, IQ, and flow state, Sai is considered one of the geniuses in the Blue Lock verse. As it was demonstrated in the U20 match, at that time, Sai was by far the best player on the field, outplaying even the best players in all of Blue Lock, like his little brother Ren, as well as the hero Izagi Yoichi. Even though he represents the best traits for our player, he's just too valuable to spin right away, and so we'll have to save him for later. Second, we got Yo Hiyori. Hiyori is known for being one of the best passers in all of Blue Lock, being able to connect with anybody on the field. Thanks to his new ego of wanting to produce the best striker, as well as his passing accuracy and ability to pair minds with prodigies like Izagi Yoichi, he would also be a perfect fit for this trait. But despite his amazing qualities, there's still a better option for passing that we can't let go, and that is none other than Charles Chevalier, BXG's midfielder and one of its best players. Charles is known for his passing ability and the way he can connect with strikers like Shiro Ryusei and Itoshi Rin. Not only that, but he also has Loki's attention, one of the best players in the world whose goal is to train Charles' abilities even more so he can make him the best player in the world, and so surpassing Noel Noah thanks to Charles' passes. And so for passing, we choose Charles Chevalier, the French phenom. Now, even though passing is an important trait for any player position, it is not the top priority for the striker. As a striker, our most important trait will be shooting. Now, for this one, we actually got some good options. First, we got Shoei Baro. Baro's main method for scoring goals is his powerful and yet accurate shot, being able to almost guarantee a goal if the shot is made within 29 meters of the goal. He becomes an immeasurable threat for any goalkeeper standing in the way. Besides that, I think we have 2 better options ahead, and so I won't be choosing Baro's traits just yet. Next up, it's the genius Itoshi Rin. Rin is known for his perfect shot accuracy, being that his biggest weapon. His kicks are so good that he can score any way he wants, from a free kick, corner kick, or even a crash shot like he most recently demonstrated versus Boston Munchen in the last match of the Neo Egoist League, where he scored a goal by sacrificing his body and colliding with his rival Izagi Yoichi along the way. His arsenal of weapons makes him a perfect option for our shooting trait. But like I said, I got something more special saved up for Itoshi Rin. And so that leaves us with the last option and probably our best, Michael Kaiser, also known as Blue Rose. Kaiser is also known for his impeccable shooting technique, more specifically, his biggest weapon, the Kaiser Impact. This shooting technique is said to have the fastest kick swing speed in the entire world. His shot is so fast that some players have difficulty noticing the moment the ball is being fired. Not only that, but thanks to Kaiser acquired special abilities, both Metavision and Predator Eye, he's able to score near impossible goals with pinpoint accuracy. To add to that, he can even produce this shooting technique in mid-air, after a dribble, and also as a cross, which he most recently demonstrated in the match against PXG, where he uses his Kaiser Impact to pass the ball to his co-star Izagi Yoichi. And so, being on pair with Blue Lock's current number 1, Itoshi Rin, Kaiser's shooting trait is exactly the trait our striker needs. And so, for the shooting trait, I pick Michael Kaiser. Next, we got Dribbling, a very important trait for a midfielder as well as a striker. For this one, there's two obvious standout players we can choose from. First is Megumi Bachira, arguably the best dribbler in all of Blue Lock. Bachira's dribble is on a level of his own. His ability to pull out creative skills every time he's in a tough situation, as well as the sheer ease he dribbles through the entire U20 team, makes him one of the most unpredictable players and a big threat for his opponents. Bachira's dribbles allow him to slice through an entire team with ease, creating opportunities on the field that would help any striker on his team. The second character is none other than Kenyu Yukimiya, also known as Japan's top one-on-one player. Thanks to his Emperor playing style, Yukimiya can beat anyone on a one-on-one play, making it very hard to stop him close to the goal. His street-like skills allow him to get out of sticky situations like being pressed by two defenders, and so making him a very dangerous striker. Besides that, Yukimiya's dribble fits more of a striker since thanks to his position, there's only a few defenders to get through, and so making Megumi Bachira the perfect choice for our midfielder's dribble traits and Kenyu Yukimiya for our striker. Let me know in the comments if you agree with this one. Now that we've locked in the dribble trait, it's time for the speed trait. Since Loki isn't available to be selected, there's only two players that excel when it comes to speed. First is Zantetsu Tsurugi. Known for his straight line speed, Zantetsu excels in short distances. Thanks to his explosive acceleration and quick reactions, he's able to intercept his opponent's movements and get to a certain position faster than everybody else. His speed comes into play at the very beginning of his run, making him extremely difficult to beat in short distances, especially closer to the goal. But besides that, his incredible speed decreases over long distance duels, and his explosive acceleration isn't used to dribble through defenders or to move in tight spaces, at least not as well as our next option. That is Yoma Chigiri, one, if not the fastest man in all of the Blue Lock project. Chigiri is known for his incredible speed over long distances, being able to run 50 meters in just 5.77 seconds. Pretty impressive, huh? Not only does he have an unmatched sprint ability, but he also possesses incredible footwork that allows him to use such speed in tight situations, giving him the ability and quick decision making that a midfielder needs to possess. And so that makes his speed the best possible option for our midfielder, and so for the speed trait, I choose Yoma Chigiri. As for our striker, well, I got to choose Zantetsu speed, which also suits the striker position very well. Okay, so that's passing, dribbling, and speed done. Next up, we got the stamina trait, another trait super important for both our players. For this one, we got two obvious characters to choose from. First is Jingo Raichi, aka the wild child of Blue Lock. He's known for his aggressive personality and playing style on the football field. Now playing at defensive midfielder, he learned how to survive the Blue Lock project thanks to his endurance and aggressiveness on the field. Raichi's strength lies in his physical play and his constant pressure on some of the best players on the opposing team, allowing players like Kaiser and Izagi to win games without worrying too much about defending. He's often in clashes with opponent players, with his best feat so far being the game against the Italy Ubers, where he was tasked with keeping up with the #1 player in the world, Mark Snuffy. Not the #1 striker though, that would be Noah. Next, we got Aoshi Tokimitsu. Besides his introvert personality, Tokimitsu turns into a completely different person when under pressure. He's known for his extraordinary physical abilities, being praised by the likes of Izagi Yoichi, and having someone as strong as Shoei Baru not being able to keep up in a direct contact contest of physical strength. Not only that, but he's even known for his unlimited stamina, where most players sooner or later would start to feel fatigued. Tokimitsu is an exception to this rule, where his stamina allows him to function at almost full capacity throughout the entire match, and so making him a formidable weapon in the late minutes of a game. And so, thanks to that, our choice becomes a lot easier, since a midfielder desperately needs a better stamina compared to a striker. So, for the stamina trait, I choose Aoshi Tokimitsu, the former Blue Lock's number 3. As for our striker, Raichi's aggressive playing style and endurance will fit just fine. Next up, we got strength. Since Tokimitsu was already chosen for the stamina traits, that leaves us 3 options for the strength one. First, we got Rensuke Kunigami, also known as the wildcard. Kunigami becomes one of the strongest strikers in the verse in the most recent Neo-Egoist League. After being eliminated in the second selection, Kunigami comes back with a completely new body, with much increased physical abilities like his strength, as well as an ambidextrous ability, making him the perfect body for a striker. Having built his body after the number 1 striker, Noel Noah, Kunigami's strength suits more a striker than a midfielder, and so because of that, we won't be choosing Kunigami just yet. Second, we got Shoei Baro. Baro is one of the best physiques in the show. As noted by Izagi, Baro follows a strict and extensive workout routine that allows him to build that insane strength. Because of that, he's able to leverage his physicality against players to open up spaces and create opportunities perfect for a striker. But there's something more special I got saved up for the king. And so the perfect strength for a midfielder is going to be Shiro Ryusei. Just like Baro and Kunigami, Shiro is one of the strongest and most dominant players in all of Blue Lock. The former Blue Lock number 2 leverages his superior physical strength over opponents, combining his strength with quick acceleration for powerful breakaways. He has a well-developed, lean but muscular body that not only makes him strong in physical duels, but also allows him to maintain his agility and control, which comes in handy for our midfield position. His strength is well demonstrated when he's able to kick Kunigami, also one of the most physical imposing players in Blue Lock, and so for this trait, the best option for our midfielder will be Shiro Ryusei. And the best option for our striker strength, well, it will be none other than Noel Noah's copy, Rensuke Kunigami. Okay, so with all that done, that leaves us with 3 traits left for our ultimate duo. Next up, we got control. As all of us know, the obvious answer would be Seishiro Nagi, one of Blue Lock's top players and one of the few geniuses in the show. Nagi's most formidable skill is his perfect ball control, and one of the few things that defies Izagi's and Rin's logic. As demonstrated in his goal during the U20 match, his ability to control the ball even in the most unfavorable positions makes him an incredible threat close to the goal. But his ball control is so good that we are gonna have to save it for our ultimate striker. And so, our next best option available is Tabitu Karasu. Karasu presents one of the best ball control skills in the entire verse, being able to use his body to control the space around him, shielding the ball and blocking off opponents with his arms. Not only that, but Karasu's expert use of feints and spatial control allows him to dribble past multiple players even in tight situations, like it was demonstrated during the 3rd selection when Karasu was able to dribble past Izagi and Shiro, as well as maintaining possession when pressured by 3 players at once. And so by being able to control the middle of the field by himself, that makes him the perfect choice for our midfielder's trait. And so for the control trait, I'm gonna pick Tabito Karasu. As for our striker, is none other than the genius Seishiro Nagi, of course. That one was obviously pretty easy. Next up, we got the most important trait in all of Blue Lock, flow state. I think you guys know where I'm going with this one. Flow state is the state of total immersion, or also said, being in the zone. Now, this time, we'll not only incorporate one's flow state to this trait, but also his special abilities such as Predator Eye and Metavision, since players in this state would elevate their abilities even more. So, this leaves us with numerous players that have unlocked such flow state. Now, since Shiro has been used already, we can't choose him for this specific trait. And so, taking into consideration the position of our character, as well as the special abilities at stake, there's 3 obvious options to choose from. First would be the prodigy Itoshi Sai. Sai might well be the best player available, and with his numbers flow state, combined with his overall incredible incredible abilities, he would be a formidable choice for our midfielder's flow state. But I decided to save him for something else. And so that leaves us with the two best possible options. First, we got probably one of the best and well-rounded flow states in the entire verse, and that is Izagi Oichi's flow state and Metavision. Izagi's flow state allows him to use all of his weapons at once to read the entire field. With Izagi's Metavision, our player will be able to control the field on a different level, making every player on the field his own pawn. Izagi's Metavision is on a level of its own, being only comparable with Metavisions owned by pro players such as Hitoshi Sai. Even then, Izagi's vision excels to exponential levels, being able to process a match as well as players' motivations and emotions, allowing him to predict the outcome of a play, giving almost a glimpse into the future. His ability to control every player on the field makes him impossible to stop. The best example of that is in the Ubers Italy match, where he connected with Iori without even looking at him once, producing the winning goal in that specific match. And so, that makes his flow state the best and most suitable for our midfielder position. And so, with flow state, I choose Izagi Oichi and his incredible Metavision. As for our striker, well, I've been saving this genius for a reason. It's gotta be the best flow state in all of Blue Lock, Itoshi Rin's destructive flow state. That will give our striker the necessary tools to mentally destroy his opponents and become one of the most feared players in the world. With his destructive flow state, Rin becomes fearless, gaining the impulse to destroy his opponents by simultaneously risking himself in the process. A playing style so aggressive that aims to draw out his opponent's strongest weapon and defeat them at their peak. As we can see from the U20 match, Rin was able to enter his destructive flow state and in quick succession defeat all of Japan's best defenders using their greatest weapons against them, including even Japan's best defender Oliver Aiku, as well as his older brother, the prodigy Hitoshi Sai, leading to Izagi's winning goal. Not only that, but that flow state paired with his newly acquired Predator Eye will transform our striker into an unreachable threat that no defender wants to see on the field. And so, for our striker flow state, I'm picking Itoshi Rin and his destructive flow state. Okay, with all of these traits locked in, that leaves us with the last trait on the list, and that is IQ. Now, for this trait, I decided to save a special player, and that is none other than Hitoshi Sai. Thanks to his cold and calculated playing style, Sai is able to control the entire offense of a team, connecting with the best strikers available for the easiest path to the goal. With every calculated play he makes, Sai tries to find the most effective and quick play, and so destroying his opponent in a beautiful way. Not only that, but he possesses an unparalleled ability to see and execute creative and effective passes that other players wouldn't even dare to think of. As it was demonstrated during the U20 match, his ability to think ahead and make intelligent decisions makes him the perfect mind for a midfielder. And so for our last trait, we choose Hitoshi Sai's IQ. As for our striker, well, that doesn't leave too many options, does it? Don't worry, we still got something up our sleeves. That is none other than Iki Nico. Nico is a tactical genius analyzing the entire field, both allies and opponents, to be able to determine the next play and calculate accordingly. Nico's vision is so good that even Izagi himself was impressed with the sheer level of Nico's ability to read the same plays as him. Not only that, but Nico has also unlocked Metavision similar to Izagi and Sai, allowing him to constantly take information and data on every player and every play they make, making him one of the smartest players on the field. And so for our striker's IQ, I'm picking Iki Nico. And with that, our duo is finally complete, right? I'm not forgetting something, am I? Ah, that's right. You guys didn't think I would forget about this special trait, did you? On a show where the main piece is someone's egoism, we can't forget about the most important trait of them all, and that is the ego trait. Now, I've been saving these two players for this exact trait. First, for the midfielder position, we got Yori, Izagi's right arm. Yori's new ego has the goal to create the world's best striker, no matter who that is. If it's Izagi, Kaiser, or Rin, Yori will only connect with the best of the best and not waste his time with inferior players, making him the best ego style for our already overpowered midfielder. But that's not even the best part, because that midfielder's ego will perfectly connect with this player's ego that I've wanted to use this entire time. It's time for the king to be finally selected. Baro's king ego ego is by far one of the best in the show. As demonstrated in the Neo-Egoist League, his ego makes him the central piece of a team, making an entire team like Uber's beating him at all times. His ego is so high that he's even able to confront and convince the #1 player in the world to not retire after scoring an amazing goal versus Boston Munchen. His ego makes him the king of the field, where everybody else serves his purpose and his purpose only, no matter who that is. And with that being said, now we can confidently say that our ultimate duo is finally complete and ready to dominate the entire Blue Lock verse. Now, if you enjoyed this video, make sure to click on this one next, where I created a theory where Sai joined forces with Izagi in the Neo-Egoist League.